Chase and Energy Fitness, and today we continue our mini series, a little bit of break, on food, calories, and macronutrients. So today we're going to be looking at fats. This one, fat, and it is a food with macronutrient that a lot of us are afraid to eat, especially those who are overweight. We don't really understand how it works or its importance. So we start with the importance of fats. And fat is important in your diet for reasons such as absorption of vitamins and minerals. So certain vitamins like A, D, K, and E, you have to have fat in your diet for them to be absorbed properly by the body and for the body to use them. Also, fat helps to lower your cholesterol. Certain types of fats help protect against dementia and memory loss. It helps ease arthritis, joint pain, and inflammatory skin conditions. It also helps to battle fatigue and balance your mood. And also for satiety. It's a fancy word just saying it helps you make you feel full. So it helps you feel full more than if you say you might eat a whole lot of sugar, which is easily and quickly digested in the body. So there are different types of fats. We hear about saturated fats, we hear about unsaturated fats, and I know that we divide into monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated. So I touch a bit on those so you understand. So you can erase this bit here. And once again, I like to divide my fats into fats and better fats, because I don't think of any food is really bad. It's just proportion. But when it comes to fats, you have to be careful on your food source, the source of your fats, right? So as I said, you have saturated, unsaturated. And so the World Health Organization usually says that you should limit these types of fats here, about 20 grams or less daily. And they usually come from stuff like meat. You get unsaturated, saturated fat in your meat. You can also get it in your coconut oil. Be careful, pay attention, get in commercially baked goods, etc. And that's where it's important, where your source of fats comes from. Because saturated fat from coconut oil is a whole lot different from saturated fat from a commercially baked good. Right? It's a lot different because commercially baked goods, the fats in them have been transformed by a usually chemical process. For a lot of them too, they've been transformed into something called trans fats. So here, we say it's been transformed into a trans fat, which is basically take some heat, take some hydrogen gas, so it becomes what we call hydrogenated. So anywhere you see on your baked goods, so cookies and pastries and cakes, etc., see partially hydrogenated oil. That is a trans fat, and these are the fats that aren't so good for you. They're not good for you in terms of your heart health, etc. Yes, they occur naturally in meat, in some meats, like in beef, etc., but they're in lot smaller quantities, and this is naturally occurring. It's not done during the industrial process, right? So that's saturated fats. Then you have your unsaturated fats, which are your monounsaturates and your polyunsaturates. And that's basically anything in monounsaturated, like your avocados, your nuts, almonds, cashews, etc. And your polyunsaturates would be things like flaxseed or linseed, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, etc. Right? So when we're looking at fats, so we can start on this column here. So we have our fats and our better fats. You should try to not get your sources of fat from these ones. You can get some, but it's really, you try to mix. So maybe if you get a third of your fats from here and maybe 2/3 from this side. Or stuff like fried foods like fried chicken, French fries, they be higher on what you call saturated fats. And not so much the unsaturated fats, which are needed for all those benefits we talked about before, lowering cholesterol, etc. Then you have cheese and butter and peanut butter. Put stars next to all of these. So here we have peanut butter. Over here we also have a nut butter, natural nut butter. So what's the difference? If you buy a commercially produced peanut butter, I won't call any brands, but commercially produced is going to have a trans fat. Because peanut butter is supposed to separate. So if you buy a natural nut butter, so peanut butter, almond butter, etc., you're going to see the oil floating on top. And that's what's supposed to happen to your butters, your nut butters. They're supposed to separate. So if you're having a peanut butter that is nice, all nice and smooth, there's no separation, You most likely have a commercial peanut butter and it has a trans fats, and that's the type of fat that's not good for you. So you want to opt for one such as this. Moving on to butter. Now, I know a lot of us think that butter is so bad for you, so we opt for this one here, this margarine. But the truth is, this is industrially produced again, margarine. Usually has that hydrogen bubble through it, so it usually has a trans fats as well. You're better off using a small portion of butter, which is naturally occurring, it comes from milk, rather than using margarine. But once again, you don't want to use great quantities of butter nor of cheese. So you stick to your portion. You don't want to be having a half a pound of cheese, or Lord forbid, a pound of cheese. So you want to limit your portion. So you want a naturally occurring source once again. And then you want vegetable oils. So they found vegetable oils. So we put these vegetable oils on this side. Because olive oil is also vegetable oil, but once again there's a difference. Olive oil is what you call, and this contains monounsaturated fats. Olive oil, but a good olive oil is produced when you cold press it, which means you just basically take the seed or the nut of the olive and you squeeze it, and the oil that comes out is the oil you want to use. But then, manufacturers, they discovered, so they decided to do the same thing with the seeds of these vegetable oils. But the fact is, they use heat and chemicals once again. So they change kind of the structure of the fat. So although it might be an unsaturated vegetable oil, once again, it's not the best source of your fat because it has been chemically altered. Right? So that's fats on that side, and then we go over to your better fats. So fat is always going to be linked to meat. So like in the skin or in a fattier part of the animal. For example, you can compare chicken breast to chicken thigh. Chicken breast doesn't really have a lot of fat, but the chicken thigh would. Right? Then you have flaxseed or linseed, as some people call it. It's a good source of omega-3, as well as in fish, like the salmon and tuna, a good source of omega-3. You have chia seeds, all your nuts, coconut oil, olive oil, avocado is a very good source as well, monounsaturated fats, and then all your seeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, and walnuts. So when you're choosing fats, this is basically basic rule that I like to follow. I always try to choose a better fat. And if I do happen to I use something from this side, if I said I had some fries or some fried chicken, for example, for a certain meal, then on the other side, in terms of my carbohydrates, I will try to stick to something like vegetables or salad, nothing that's too heavy. And then in the next meal, you try once again to get your fats from this source over here. You try to use a smaller portion from this column, and you use a slightly larger portion from that column. So I hope this helps clear up some of the issues many of us have with fats. You don't want to overindulge, but you want to still need to get some of them into your diet. And don't be afraid to use them. And that's it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.